Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting because like my thing with poker is and I talk to people who are really into it, but like I never like I like to play it, but I just have a weird thing about like spending the money on it, you know, just cuz like any kind of gambling like or any kind of game for money, I just feel like I have like a block in me in my mind about it, you know, and I've talked to people who are like I'm not going to play poker with you unless we're betting money because then that's what makes it interesting to them. It's
Yeah,
not just a game. Uh, and I think about like, you know, maybe because what you were saying about discipline is that like the game of poker can kind of like force you to reassess your relationship to money and like to put away your attachment to like, oh my God, this is a huge pot. Don't make any like decisions or something. I don't know. What would you say about that?
yeah, totally. So that's like one of the number one attractions to poker is like okay. So one thing, poker players is from all over the world, all ages now, but that's one of the things they all have in common is that they don't really care about money. So that's like number one thing is like you can't care if you care about money, you wouldn't play because you know that there's a chance of you losing. So it's like
Right.
you look at money has a whole nother value, and you just approach money in a whole different way. It's not like, oh, I hope if you look at money like I hope I win, or if I lose I'm gonna be sad. Like you're not playing poker, you're just like tricking yourself. Like I feel
Right. Trying to
like
gain.
not care about money. You have to like be okay with losing and just like being poor, and just like, hey, if I have to sleep outside, whatever. At least I tried, at least I tried my hardest. And that's something I feel like all poker players, at least the good ones, have in common. They don't really care about the money value. It's just a tool for them.
Was there a time for you whenever it was different? Was there a time for you whenever it was more about the money? Was there like it? Is there a breaking point there? What tell us about that? How did that happen?
Yeah. When I first started, it was all about the money. I was like, oh my God, I can just play this game and like win money. And then I learned the game and I lost all the time because I was so focused on like making money that and then I didn't have my game right. So my whole idea was I can make money. I can make money. What do I do to make money? I read all these books by these players. Like one guy, his name is David Skolansky. He's like famous guy. I like read all his books. I read a Barry Greenstein book, all these professional peoples. I read all their books. I'm like, okay, this is what you do when you have ace king and you're like third position. I memorized all the bullshit. And then I'm like, I'm still losing. How come? Like this guy said if I did this and did that, I would win. How come I'm still losing? And then that's when I just like, at that point, I was dancing and playing poker. So I would lose all my money and then go dance and make it back. Like, so I was like going like this. And I was like, I'm tired of like making money just to lose it and then making it back. It's like, I'm losing my shit. I'm going to die. I'm going to kill myself soon if I keep going through these extremes. And then that's when I was like, okay, I'm not going to read any more books. I'm just going to play because I want to play and I want to be good at this because it's better than dancing for me. I can meet all these people like from all different walks of life and not only meet them, but have respect from them. Because as a dancer, I didn't feel like I had respect from them. I felt like the dynamics of me being a dancer was affecting the respect factor. It was like, we know each other from different parts of life. I appreciate this encounter, but you don't respect me. You want me to bend over and shake it as fast as I can for a few dollars. And I'm not really down with that. Like, I just want to like conversate with you or like hear your perspective on things or just talk. Like, I don't want to like shake it until I pass out. So poker allowed that for me. And that's what made the money not be the main attraction. And that's when I started winning. It was weird. It's like the moment I stopped caring, that's when you win. I guess it's like that with most things. Like when you try to remember what you're trying to say, and then the more pressure you put on it, the further it gets away. As soon as you relax, you're like, that's what I was trying to say. So I feel like same with money and like trying to like make it all the time.
That's so interesting. Yeah, because it's like about, removing the pressure. Because I think it's almost like, martial arts and all sorts of things like that. It's about getting yourself to the point where you're not reactive when things happen. Like you get punched in the face and you don't just get like lose your shit. You remain calm. You just feel it and you react with like you respond to it. And so it's like, even when, everyone on the world is watching you do a thing, and the pot is huge and stuff, it's like, can you keep your cool? And that's really what the game is, like, who can keep their cool the best. And,
Yeah.
and even to like, say, like kind of compare it, what you're saying there, it's reminding me, as I started to learn about crypto, I started to learn about kind of like technical analysis. And like that's essentially the same thing as like stock trading and all that stuff, which is very similar because people get into it. It's like I could just make money for free. Like all I got to do is I just buy these things and then sell them later, and I don't do anything. It's just about when you buy and when you sell. But the thing is, you're analyzing the markets, and it's about, can you keep your cool and keep to your plan? Because people will freak out like, oh no, it's diving, I got to sell everything before I lose all my money. But then a lot of times the good investors, they're like, no, this is time to buy, because I know it's going to go back up because I did my research. And it's about like trying to mitigate your emotions in the face of conflicting inputs or something like that.